I'm about a minute or two late. Had trouble getting Scott out the door today. He's been working on a computer issue, trying to load a program that really shouldn't work. And he's got it loaded, but it crashes because he's missing a file. So I finally got him out the door and off to work so we can get started on this once everybody shows up. Hi, Sharon. I wrote down everybody's name that has signed up for the traveling journals on the group page. So I've got everybody wrote down, and I'm trying to get where everybody is comfortable mailing. Like Kathy Whitney wants to stay in the USA, but I also needed to know where she was. So I went to my old list and found out she's in Oregon. So I know where some of y'all are, but then there's some new people. Christiane Seelbach, Lori, Cassandra, Louise, L.A. Richard, and Lisa Elaine. Lisa Elaine is in North Carolina, isn't she? Hi, Peg. I had fun watching you this morning, and I went ahead and I decorated my page in my just a quick hi bye from Rose. Okay, Rose. Hang it whatever, as much as little as you can. That's fine. So basically, you know what? I said I was going to print that stupid thing off, and then I didn't do it. I don't know if I can get to it. I'll be right back. Just opening another tab. I'm going to see if I can print off that file that I just put on the group page. I just want to print it off really quick. Yay, we have a files section. Actually shows up now. All right. I'll open it. I could actually print it off from my computer, but I wanted to make sure that I can open it from the file. Yeah. And then I'll just print that. So that should go into the computer in the other room. Close that tab off. There we go. All right. Hi, Brenda Price. And we got Laura and Peg and Janet and Rose. And there goes the list again. That is so weird. Hi, Kathy. Did the roofers call? Let me go run get that list. I'll be right back. All right. I wanted to get this on there so everybody could print it off. It's just the guidelines that I came up with for what goes inside the front cover, inside the back cover, general information. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know in the discussion, and I will make notes on here of things I need to change really quick. So I've got my pink pen just for changes. I will show y'all, this is a little journal. Somebody was asking the size. These are 5x7, and I believe Lisa Elaine made y'all's journals. If you're going to use the one she sent, I think she made them all 5x7 as well to kind of match. But for those that are new, that just joined in on the swap and have been asking the size and the paper and all of that, use what you have. If you have mixed media paper, use it. If you have a sketchbook, use it. If you have watercolor paper, use that. Use what you already have. I don't want you to go out and buy specific paper just because I use mixed media paper. We can gesso pages. That was one of the things I put on here. You need to let everybody know inside your front cover here, you're going to want your name, If you have a YouTube channel, go ahead and share it. And make sure your mailing address is in here, simply because if these get lost and need to be found in some way, if each time we mail them, we put tracking numbers on them, that we need to put tracking numbers on these because they don't really belong to us. They belong to the members of this traveling. Basically, I look at these as a passport, and everybody, instead of stamping it with a date, you're going to put art in it. So, but if you put your mailing address in the front of it, the post office will look at things that have gotten lost sometimes, and they'll just say, oh, here's an address. Let's just send it to this address. So that's why we want to make sure we put our mailing address in the front. List the type of paper you use. Like I will list, this is mixed media paper in here for the pages. Are your pages gessoed? Are you going to gesso your pages? If you have, I gessoed all my pages. So when y'all get mine, if you're in my group, you won't have to gesso pages. So I'm going to let you know they're already gessoed. If you want a theme in your journal, you need to list that in the front cover, just so that everybody knows you would like a theme throughout. I think most of us talked about letting everybody just do their own art in it. And I really like that idea because then you're getting a little piece of them, if that makes sense. Also, on the very bottom down here, you need to add the reminder, sign and date your work in capital letters just across the bottom somewhere. Hi, Eva. The main reason I want that done is because, you know, over time, our memory fades and we won't remember. And I just initialed mine RAM, my initials. So if you see RAM, that's my initials. And then I just put today's date because I went ahead and did my page in the front of my journal. It's hard to read this. It says, life is art, paint your dreams, sing your songs, and enjoy the dance. I tried to make it, I don't know. I need to do something else to make it easier to read. I don't know what I will do, but I will do something. Hi, Ian. All right. So let's talk about what to put. That's what I would like to see in the front cover. If you want to add anything else to the inside of your journals, you can go for it if you have room. If you're like my niece and your writing is maybe 1/8 of an inch tall, you can like write a book in the front here. I write big. I always have wrote big. So I will probably have just the basics that I just went over in the front cover. Okay, inside the back cover back here, this is where we'll list the people in your group. Now, some folks have been saying, let's put a pocket in the back where everybody can, like, if they wanted to, write a short note to the person that the journal belongs to. And I think that's a great idea. If you want to do that, you can do the corner pocket where they could just slide it in, and then you could just list the names of the people on the cover up this way. So like your pocket would be down here, and you'd list your names here. After the names, you need to make a line. So they can add, after they get it, they'll date after their name the day they completed it. And in that way, if you want to, you can just sign your work and add the date at the back. I put the date with my page up here. I just put my initials and the date. Now, if you're going to do like me and just, instead of writing your whole name out on your page or your spread, you might want to put what initials you used back here in their books next to their name. So like if where my name shows up in somebody's list, I would put RAM and then the date that I completed it. And that way they'll know when they're flipping through and they see the initials on the pages, they'll know that that's my page, if that makes sense. All right, so list the names in the back with a line for them to put the date and maybe initials. I put on here, you may also want to add some form of pocket in the back. of your journal for people to add short notes or letters to you. You could also, you know, there's those tiny little, oh, I don't know if I have one. Those little bags that are made out of, it's like deli paper. So, Janet, where were you wanting the addresses? Do you want them to include their addresses? They could include their address on a note if you want to put the pocket in the back. And because I was just thinking, yeah, if you want to do your journal that way, Lori, you can. I think most of us have already either received a sewn-in journal page like I did mine, or yes, a glycine bag. That's what I was thinking. You could you would have to write smaller. All right, let me see. Let me catch up. So Lori's saying to make journals with the bands where we could slide the pages in and out. And yeah, that would make it easier to work, except if you're doing a 2-page spread, like I did my first cover. So the next person would do the spread across here. And if you do that, if you had pages that you just pulled out, half of it would be here and half of it would be back here. So the artwork wouldn't be all together. Does that make sense? Okay, Tanya, be safe. I hope it's not headed this way, but they said we're supposed to get thunder showers every evening, every afternoon and evening this week. All right, so those that are using the bands, you might want to, in your front here, tell people you only, how you want the pages done, so that, because like I was saying, like you can see my whole page here. When you turn the page and you would do across this way, you would have someone's artwork all the way across. If you do the pages that are removed, the only one you'll see all the way across is this one when you're flipping through the book. That was just something I was thinking about just now. So I'll leave that entirely up to you guys, but you will need to add a note how you would like the pages done in your front cover, whether you want a single page like this or a full spread. If you do the full spread, you got to just be aware they're not going to be able to look through their journal and see all of your artwork at once without pulling the page out, if that makes sense. I keep saying if that makes sense because I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So, but yeah, you could, if you have room and you want to put an envelope back here and just have it where they slide them in from the edge over here, you can add a pocket to the back any way you want. Pocket, envelope, bag, whatever. But you just make sure you have your list on there of the names. Other general guidelines, I've just put on here, you can include wax paper to go in between the pages when you're mailing. Like I'm going to put a piece of wax paper here, 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 between each page, just so they don't get stuck together. If you get a journal in and the wax paper is getting kind of gross, you might want to, you know, just do something sweet and maybe add fresh wax paper every once in a while if you find some arriving with some really dirty wax paper. Because, you know, it's hard to keep paint under control, you guys. It really is. All right. So, like I said, I went onto our group page. And if you have any questions about this, you need to let me know. If I included everything you need to know. If you just got here and you missed something, ask questions, because this is your chance to make sure you get everything. Under the other general guidelines, I put a note. Each time a journal travels on, you will be sending out to the same person each time. So if you can't mail outside the USA, I will need to know. And those that are outside the USA, I will need to know if you are okay with mailing back to the USA every time. I think we only have 2 people in the group that have signed up, and they are in Canada. Ruth Lamb and Barb Fillion are both in Canada. I'm not sure where. I think Laura is in. I'm wanting to say she's in North Carolina, but I'm not 100% sure. Laura Richards. Laura, where are you? One page for each person, one signature per person. Well, I was only thinking we would do 1 page. See, this is the kind of event where we're going over stuff like this, where I wish we were all in like the same room around a big round table. Okay, Lori is Star Wolf 539. Yeah, inside your front cover, you're going to list your name, your YouTube channel, your mailing address, type of paper used on your pages, and have you pre-gessoed them? I've gessoed all of mine. And let them know if you have a theme you want them to keep, you need to list that. But if you're okay with them just doing whatever art they do in your journal, just let them know that. And you need to let them know, do you want them to do just the facing pages like this one, this one, this one, and so on? Or are you okay with, like, I've done my single page and the next person could do the full spread? You just say a spread or a single page. Yeah. And what else? Also at the very bottom, right down here in capital letters, sign and date your work. If there's anything else you want to add to the front, just go for it. You can print this sheet off on our group page. And I was looking at mine, just like doing it as a book. So I did this page. So I could have one partner could do this page. The next person could do this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last person would only be able to do this page if I had 6 people. Sharon says she has put 4 pages. So she has enough for everybody to do a full 2-page spread in hers. So I was thinking of 6 people in a group, but we could have 5 people in a group, and then that way people that, like me, only did 3 sheets folded in half and sewn in the middle, that would give me enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when it got back to me, I could do this page at the back. You can, or if you wanted to, like, you don't necessarily have to follow along, but in fact, your book would probably travel better if, like, the first person did this spread, the next person did the spread at the back, and then flip back to this side. Because I got water today, guys. Hang on. If yours is bound together and you're working through it, I've found when I've done journals, if I just do them one after the other, you end up with this great big pile on the left. And then when the last person gets to the journal, it is really hard to do because this side's way up. So that's a good comment. So like your first person would do this spread, and then the next one would flip to the back and do this spread. But if you're doing the ones where you pull them out, I'm just wondering how you would look through. I mean, you'd have half of the art on one side and half on the other over here if you pull the sheet out. But I'll leave that up to you guys. Just make sure you make a note how you want them worked on in the front of your journals. All right, let me see. I've got people commenting. I'm got to catch up here. All right, Lori, so would you want the front and the page done? The front and the page. Oh my goodness. The front and the back of each sheet that's pulled out. Like if you took and you had a band in the middle, do you want them to just pull one out and decorate the front and the back? Or do you want them to do just one side and then slide it back in, and then somebody else could pull it out and work the back side of it? That's what I was wondering there. Okay, Tanya sounds like she's in for a rough ride over there. Janet, I was trying to figure out your comment, especially if you gesso all the pages first. I did mine last night. I put gesso on everything, front and back covers on the inside, and did the pages. Yeah, Judy, just whatever you want your partners to do, just make sure they have a note in the front. So everybody, when you get a journal, read that front cover before you get started, so you know what the person that owns the journal would like to see in their journals. We'll have between 5 and 7 partners, depending on how many people sign up. Right now, I only have 21 people that have signed up on the group page. So I need everybody to let me know the state you're in, and some of these I can look up in my address book. But like the new folks, Lori RS, I put her last initials as RS, and Cassandra Andrews, Lois Wright, Lori, your state, I didn't catch it. And if you can private message me just what state you're in, and whether you're willing to mail, across the border to Canada, because like I said, I think we only have Canadian and USA folks, and it doesn't really cost too much more to mail up there. Kathy, that's a good idea, but mine, I'm going to limit it to 5 or 6 people in each group. It will probably, I'm leaning closer to 5, but with 21, one group would have 6. So if your group has 6, you'll need to add a page. Or just expect them to do a single, just like I did the front. They could do this page here. Okay, so you're talking only doing one side then. That sounds good. So I'm going to make a note down here to maybe do our groups in groups of 5. Groups of 5. Because I think it's sounding like groups of 5 the journals would travel along really quickly then with just 5 members instead of 6. All right, I'm going to just go over the list of who I have down. And Peg, I don't have you, but I will click you as going. I can do that right now. If anybody else is planning to attend. You have until June 30th to get signed up. I'm gonna open the group page in another tab here real quick. I'm gonna click Peg is going. I know some folks were having trouble getting signed up. I know Esther, I had to click Esther through and several other people. And I think it's because the invites, for some reason, did not go to everyone when I sent the invites out. Let me see if I can hit this and invite again. See if it shows anybody that wasn't invited. All right, it's saying 129 people were invited. So the last person to join should have gotten a separate invite. Let me go in here. It'll only take me a second. Go to the invited section, slide down here and find Peg. Bear with me, I'll be back on that tab in just a second. Let's see if I can just do this. There you are, and I'm going to put you as going. So that makes us at 22. Click back here. All right. I got you now, Peg. You're on there. Yeah. I was just thinking the wax paper between the pages would be good. Mine aren't sticking at all with the gesso. The gesso's not sticking at all because it was good and dry before I did the next page. So I'm not having a trouble with the gesso sticking. I'm just thinking if somebody, like I've used a gold texture paste here. I'm afraid that might stick when it's in the mail. But I'm just going to make, in fact, I'm going to make my wax paper slightly bigger than my journal, but not huge, you know, just maybe a ½ inch larger than the 5x7. So 5.5 by 7.5 inches. I'll slide that in there. The main thing, I wanted to keep the journal size to something that would fit inside a 6x9 class mailer. And the 5x7 journals are an absolutely perfect fit. It just slides right in. And then you could just seal that up so easy. I know as it, see, with my doing my pages, it's all probably already over the 1/4 inch. If it's a 1/4 inch or less, they count it as a large envelope. If it's over a 1/4 inch thick, then they count it as a package. And the minimum cost is $3.50. I think that's just for first class mail. I was tempted to ask if we could mail these because they are a book. They are media. I'm wondering what media mail cost would be. I know you have to ask for media mail. Mary, you just would add that in the very front. In your front cover, say, if you're going to use wet media, please gesso the pages. So if you don't want to pre-gesso, that's fine. Just let them know the pages have not been gessoed and that you would like them to gesso them if they're going to use something really wet. Oh, media mail is slower. Okay. So maybe we should just do first class, or because we want tracking numbers so we can keep track of them. So priority mail, I'm not sure how much that would be on these. I know you can do first class and then get a tracking number, but it comes out to like pennies between the two costs. Okay, Lori, thanks for stopping in. She says she has to go to work. Oh, Lord, Eva. Do one thing, girlfriend. Get them kids fed. pull over. Yes, Judy, I would add that in there just so we know. Maybe I need to groups together. I will do like I did for the tag swap and do chat groups. Okay, I will set up a chat. I will be in every chat I set up for the groups, but I won't be in the selection. So I will let each group know if I'm in their group or not, because when I set up the chat, they put me in as the hostess or whatever on every single one. And when I do that, the chat will pop up and everybody can talk to everybody. And the people that will be mailing, the person you will be mailing your journal to, you will need to get their address from them, either through private message or through the chat, because the chats will all be private chats. So you could share your address in there. Yeah, once it crosses the border to Canada. So whoever is okay with shipping to Canada, I need to know that because we have 2 members that are in Canada, Ruth Lamb and Barb Filion. So I need to know if you're willing to ship to Canada. And remember, if you're willing to ship, you have to be willing to ship every single time to Canada, because you will be mailing to the same person every time. Yeah, and I had one group, you group number 3. You were some chatty Cathys. I loved it. My phone would go bling, 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 and I knew y'all were at it. That's why I said I needed a Chatty Cathy award for the groups that talk the most. Okay, so how do you know who to mail to? All right, we'll go over that next. So on my little sheet I added to the file section, there's a thing at the bottom, and this is just an example. I made up silly names. So you're listed in your group. I've got them listed 1 through 6. Number 1 is Trixie Ant. Number 2 is Martha Zero. Number 3 is Gerda Phillips. Number 4 is Maisie Dell. Number 5 is Cat Rat. And number 6 is Angie Banana. So I told you what it happens here. Trixie, number 1, will mail to Martha, number 2. Martha, number 2, will mail to Gerda, number 3. Gerda will mail to number 4, Maisie. Maisie will mail to number 5, Cat. And Cat will mail to number 6, Angie. And then Angie would mail to number 1, Trixie. So that you're going the same way. Ow, Tippy, honey, ow. Nothing like a yawn and a nails to the leg on Mom. So yeah, so that's how they would go. It's not really getting clear, but does that make sense to everybody? So when I list you all in your group, do I need to include, I can include the who mails to who. Buddy. Oh, come on, buddy. Really? Am I talking too much? Please be quiet. You're trying to sleep here. Really? Okay. All right. I will do that. Apparently, I can't show y'all anything else. All right, so the construction of your journals, I'm going to leave that entirely up to y'all. I did I showed how I made this one in a previous video. Now, if I need to do another construction video on the journals, I need to know before Wednesday, and we could do that Wednesday evening, okay? But y'all are pros. Y'all are pros. about making journals. You should see the lovey-dovey eyes on this cat. He's like, I love you so much, Mama. Yeah, he's going to sleep now. It's like, I just needed to be close. Any questions? Did I miss anybody saying that they wanted to attend, but okay. The journal is 5 across, 7 tall. 5 across by 7 tall. And I cut my pages so that it would be, what did I cut these? It would be 10 by 7. And then you would have your folded in half on your page material, whatever you use for your pages. All right. So if you're not showing as going by the 30th, I need to know. I know some people were having trouble getting signed up, and I don't want anybody to be left out because the last swap was so much fun, you guys. If you have not received all your tags yet, I know, Eva, you said you just mailed yours, right? Wasn't it you? We should have that one about wrapped up. I need to go back and view who was in my group and who I've received. Okay, Judy's mailing tomorrow. Okay, so Judy's mailing tomorrow. We're going to do groups of 5 in our art journal travels. If we do that, 5 to a group, allow 2 weeks plus 3 days between travels. We should be done in what? About 10 to 12 weeks. That would be awesome. That's okay, Mary. That's okay. I just need to know, I need to know, that they're going to be on their way. All right. We're going to start the journals off to our first partner. Well, the person that we mail to each time. We'll start them off July 5th. Okay. Mailing date. I need to add that. Our first mailing date is going to be July 5th. And I will add that to the calendar. So on our group page. Now, if those that do live shows want to go into the calendar and add your show time onto the calendar, I'm perfectly fine with that. And then that way people in the group will know when you're going to be live. If you're like Mary and I, we do, like she does Friday nights and I do Wednesday nights and Lisa does Monday nights. I think there is a calendar on the site. I can look real quick. I'm pretty sure we have a calendar that we can utilize under the events calendar. Yeah, you have to go to events and add an event, and then it will show that it's going to happen. It's going to be under the events, which is, to me, the calendar, because you're going to add a date to it. You can, I have some that are just a repeated event, but what you have to do is you have to go in and add the dates individually, which I think is a pain in the neck. I wish you could just say every Wednesday and it would just let you go. But you can go in. What I did with mine was I went in and I just went in and clicked on the calendar each Wednesday in a month. And I did it for several months just so it would keep coming up. I haven't done it like my paper bag journal is a repeater, but it's only the last Wednesday. In fact, this is last Wednesday, so we'll be doing our July paper bag page Wednesday night. But if we need to do something else to make this happen on July 5th, I need to know. If somebody wants to do a construction book workup, we can do that Wednesday night. It's just that is also our Wednesday that we would do the paper bag, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's the only thing. I wish they would just let you click on that it's a Wednesday event or a Friday event and just let it be like for the whole year. That would be awesome. But you have to go in and choose each Wednesday. It will add it. It's like a repeating event, but I think you still have to click on each Wednesday. Mary's going to make her journal today. Is everybody else working on journals? Peg said she was working on hers. We'll mail them on the 5th of July. I just wanted to get the 4th of July out of the way. There goes the chat again. Yes, count on 5 members. With adding Peg in, I've got 22. Sharon, I don't have you listed on the 21 here. You're gonna play too, right? So I'll have to go in and make sure you're added. So 22 was Peg Robinson. And 23. Dawn's ready to go, man. She don't want to wait. Kendra, you're playing. I think I've got Kendra. Yep, and I've got that you will mail, you would like to mail USA only. Is anybody else willing to mail to Canada? I have 2 people in Canada. Keep in mind, they will have to mail back from Canada. Of course, I could make it mail up to Canada, and then they could mail it to one could mail to the other, and then they could mail back in to the USA. Sharon's playing. Okay, I'm going to have to go in and make sure you're added, Sharon. I don't know why I've had so much trouble with this event because I've had to add y'all manually, a lot of you. Okay, and Judy says she's willing to do mail to Canada. We'll mail to Canada. Okay, so that gives me 2 because I'll mail to Canada. So I'll put Judy in line with either one of them. So I'll have to keep that in mind because I'm willing to mail to Canada. So that's fine. So I think that's it unless somebody else. All right, so I need to add Sharon. Let me add Sharon real quick. Tippy, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Lay down. I know I'm talking. I'm not talking to you. It breaks your heart. I know. All right, let me ugh. All right. So I'm going to type in Sharon's name. There you are. I will click you over as going. So I've got you going now. All right. What I did this, you see how if I had a sign comment pinned until deadline, that worked better. Oh, okay. You guys have got to see this crazy cat. Whoops. I think he wants me to stop. He is so spoiled. I think this is going to be an absolutely fabulous swap. I think we're going to have so much fun. And of course, I will probably mail each envelope, so the person that comes after me will get a decorated envelope they can play with too. I think I told you guys that fox that hangs out in the woods, it showed up the other day. It came out of the woods and onto the driveway. Freaked me out. There we go. Sorry for the mess in the background. Tippy, my arm's going to sleep, buddy. All right, so I got Sharon signed up. I got Peg signed up. I've got people willing to mail to Canada. I need to find out about this Christiane. I need to find out where she's located. Cassandra. Louise Wright says she wants to mail USA only, so that's okay. But I've got 3. I'm not sure where they're located. I think everybody else on here is USA. I'm pretty sure, but I'm really not sure about Christiane Silbach or Cassandra Andrews. They're new to me. Hi, Linda. Come on, Tippy, honey. You're making me so sore. Yeah, okay, that's better. I'm getting stink eye now. Sharon is in Oregon. You know what? We have 3, I think 3 members in Oregon. Yeah, Kathy Whitney's in Oregon. Danny Kay's in Oregon. Sharon's in Oregon. Okay, all right. All right. No, don't dig. No nails. No nails, buddy. Judy's in Missouri. Yeah, I got you down as Mo. I've got some new people that are new to me, and I don't know YouTube channels to name, so I can't sort them out too well. Okay, guys. Is Lisa still in here at My Eclectic Life? Is she going to do her live tonight? I was only planning to be on about an hour today. Hey, Linda, is your back any better? I hope so. It's been hurting you too long now. Buddy, don't be digging. No, don't be digging. Vicki S. is in Missouri, too. Oh, thank goodness. Man, when my back goes out, it's just all I can do. Hey, no nails, bud. I'm going to put you back on your bed. Peg's just finished up her cover. I think everybody's going to be good and ready to go. I know one of the gals is actually vacationing in South Carolina. I think that's Lisa Elaine. She's down at Folly Beach, which is near Charleston. And my son loves to go down there because it's only about an hour and a half from our house. From here, it's about 3 hours. Yeah, I think we've pulled it all together. If anybody has any questions, ask them in the group. You know, if you don't get your answers from this video. And I will add the first mailing date will be July 5th. So have your journals ready to go. So on July 5th, you can mail them to your person that follows you in your list. I just love these chats when there's a bunch of people that are finding out there's actually crafters that are nearby. It's just fun to see everybody connect. Well, Mr. here would like me to quit talking so he can sleep. And I will join Lisa at my eclectic life later. I'm pretty sure she's going to do it. I hadn't seen where she says she's not going to be on. Oh, that's really pretty close. You could be there in no time at all. All right, Mary, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to let you go. Let this boy have some sleep time without me talking because he's so tired, you know. It's hard being a cat. Okay, guys, take care.